Assalamu alaikum, Khawateen wa Hazrat. Welcome to the I Exist to Side podcast.
ले लो मेरी जॉब ले लो वजात तुम. Hey guys, welcome back to
Ladies
the
and
I Exist to
gentlemen,
Spite podcast where we talk about whatever we want to. Before we start, make sure that you've subscribed and press the bell thing to follow us, and follow us on Instagram at I Exist to Spite for clips and other useless stuff. We have a guest today.
yeah,
A friend, a blogger, and an all-around nice person, Fatima Rizwan.
say hi, Fatima.
Hi, Assalamualaikum.
Say hi, Fatima. वो नहीं होते लाइक किसी वो जाते हैं दावत में और छोटे बच्चे को बोलते हैं ना
बेटा आंटी को
सलाम करो. Fatma is a blogger. She does. Fatma, what do you do?
I'm basically a lifestyle and fashion blogger. उसमें सारा makeup and life hacks and everything सब आ जाता है उसमें.
अच्छा पता है फातिमा एक दफा क्या हुआ था. मैं जो हूँ ना लाइक जो भी मेरे दोस्त कर रहे होते हैं ना मैं उसको फॉलो करके फिर उसको मैं लाइक वाइक करता हूँ ना. तो एक दफा मेरे दोस्तों को दिख गया था कि मैं तुम्हें फॉलो कर रहा हूँ और तुम्हारी वीडियोस को लाइक कर रहा हूँ. एंड दे वर लाइक तुम मेकअप और फैशन वाली चीजों को क्यों लाइक कर रहे हो.
ना कर.
गंदी हो गई थी मेरी लेकिन ओके सही है बस. राइट सो इस दफा का टॉपिक हमने एक्चुअली ट्राई किया कि हम लोग टॉपिक के साथ आए और व्हाट्स द टॉपिक समवन इंट्रोड्यूस द टॉपिक. हाँ हम लोग नहीं करते ना क्या करें बस यार ये मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि अगले 10 एपिसोड्स है ना वी ट्राई समथिंग यू नो एटलीस्ट पुट इन द एफर्ट.
तुमने फर्स्ट एपिसोड में कहा था अब 10 एपिसोड हो चुके हैं.
Basically is that how Desi stereotypes affect our mental health.
Yep. Mental health in our culture is very like a new topic and I think there's a lot of conversation that happens every day
around this topic. Yeah.
हाँ क्योंकि like सारे जो आपके बहुत अरसे से suppressed है और अब जो celebrities वगैरह हैं they have a lot to say about it. Sometimes very problematic opinions होते हैं उनके लेकिन they have a lot to say about it. So
I think it doesn't really matter if what they say is like problematic or not because people are going to have a conversation about the stuff that celebrities say and that is what it's about, basically starting the conversation.
True. I feel that the conversation is going in the right direction and I think given the circumstances and how we used to be I feel that we've made strides because I've noticed that parents आजकल के जो है ना at least नए parents they make an effort to make sure that mental health is also an issue when they're raising kids. They check up on their kids, they're open to therapy, they're open to all of that. I think.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel?
I feel not everyone in the new generation thinks like the same way because I have two sisters and both of them are mothers to children. और मेरी बड़ी बहन on one hand is a great mother. मतलब she kids can talk to her about anything. On the second hand, मेरी मुझसे बड़ी वाली बहन है. She's an instinct. So you can see the difference between both of them. So मुझे पता है कि मेरी दूसरी बहन के बच्चे को उससे बात करना थोड़ी सी मुश्किल होगी. Whereas बड़ी बहन के बच्चों को उससे बात करना मुश्किल नहीं होगी. So it's just thing that goes on कि आपके I feel कि आपको जैसे आपके parents ने treat किया है ना बचपन में. You somewhere or another you do turn out the same parent. किसी ना किसी तरह. आपको लग रहा होता है कि नहीं I don't turn out the same. I don't want to turn out the same way, but you just end up like that.
तो एक बात बताओ, like don't you think it makes a difference when parents, even though they're like strict and whatever, they at least acknowledge कि okay these are like if I feel कि पुराने जमाने के parents अगर ये करते हैं ना कि सिर्फ acknowledge करते कि हाँ ये problems हो सकती हैं and treated like a like not as like a stigmatized topic जो जिस तरह होता है but instead treated like an actual illness that can be treated or at least managed, so that would have made a difference or that makes a difference.
That I would like to put it out there, like sometimes parents think like mental illness is sort of temporary and like खुद से चला जाएगा. Like they think that it's probably because something temporary like your impending assignments or exams or papers or something. and they think जैसे वो खत्म होगा फिर जे everything would tone down, जे बंदा normal हो जाएगा. So yeah,
So then that's
awareness
not
is
really aware about all the issues, right? अगर होता उनको
नहीं
पता.
तो awareness का like ये भी तो बंदे पे भी तो depend करता है ना, like if a person is not being vocal about his issues, so no one can actually know what is wrong with them. So sometimes it happens. It depends on the person who is going through like the crisis as much as the people around him, because the task of the person is to convey his thoughts, like अपनी बात बताए, कम्युनिकेट करे. लाइक अगर कुछ बोलेगा नहीं तो फिर उसके साथ जो कुछ हो रहा है, ही इज द वन टू ब्लेम. वो किसी और पे ब्लेम नहीं डाल सकता. एंड दैट इज द,
कि वो
आई
खुद
थिंक
नहीं
दैट इज
बोल
द
रहा.
बिगेस्ट. हाँ, बट then again it वो खुद नहीं बोल रहा. It that part is also justified because हम लोगों ने इसको इतना stigmatize किया हुआ है. And even nowadays admittedly mental awareness is progressing, like progress कर रहा है. Like people are starting to think about mental awareness as a serious issue, but it still has a ways to go. So जो उसका stigma है, जो उसका like जो bad point of view और उसका जो चीजें उससे समझी जाती हैं, they are still there. They are like लोगों का अभी भी there are some people who think that mental illness का मतलब पागल खाने ही भेजते हैं. So they are extremists.
पता है क्या मुझे क्या लगता है, सबसे बड़ा मसला हमारे कल्चर में, and this is I feel the main reason why we have mental illnesses that are so like prevalent in our people. Actually दो reasons है मेरे दिमाग में. एक family members जो like distant किस्म के होते हैं, रिश्तेदार, उनको फजूल में आके अपनी जो झाड़नी होती है उससे मुझे सख्त नफरत है.
My nanny does that. Distance तो छोड़ो, मैं अपने घर में होता ही.
कि like वो होता है ना कि तुम सही से
That
खाते
is
नहीं
true
हो,
for a
सोते नहीं हो,
reason.
इसलिए ऐसा है, इसलिए तुम्हें
Yeah,
ऐसा होता है.
I would like to counter it. Like ये जो तुम्हारा point है, it is sort of the person's own fault या फिर उसकी upbringing में जो कोई एक खोट है. Because if the like the parents knew कि उसके like relatives किस तरह के हैं, they should have prepared him for such things. Like parents should make a person exposed enough ताकि वो अपने आप को defend कर सके इन मामलों में. Like he could counter their points instead of like just.
Yeah, on what Abis said. Abis, you said that we should be like हमें बताना चाहिए हमें कि how our family is or how certain people are. But being someone like me who has come from somewhere outside Pakistan, हम लोग बाहर रहे हैं, बचपन से बाहर रही हूँ. I guess it's been like 4 years since I've came back to Pakistan. But over there, you don't really know a lot of people, right? You have your Amma Bagi friends group, and you're not really taught about that. I did not know half of my family, more than half my family, until I was not in Pakistan, and I still don't know them. So your parents cannot sit with you and talk about everyone, because that's somewhere parents lag as well. And upon that, क्या कहते हैं, one problem which I feel कि इसकी सबसे बड़ी problem ये है कि our parents not only क्या कहते हैं, they have this thing कि they would never acknowledge if we even tell them that we have mental health issues. They'll be like कि करते हैं.
I agree with it. Like acknowledgement का सबसे ज़्यादा बड़ा issue, I think for the most part it is कि parents obviously don't want to believe that there's something wrong with their child.
Yes.
Because मैंने ये वाली चीज़ भी notice की है कि जो family अंदर assault वाले cases होते हैं ना, most of the time it is very likely कि the parents won't believe what their children are telling them.
Half the time the parents don't even know about it.
Yeah.
सबसे ज़्यादा मुझे
It's sort of like their brain mechanisms कि अगर वो सोचेंगे कि अगर बंदे को ये problem नहीं है तो वो problem चली जाएगी. I know it sounds illogical, but it's sort of the built-in mechanism.
जब पेरेंट्स और रिश्तेदार वगैरह जब ये कहते हैं ना कि नखरे कर रहे हैं या नखरे कर रही है,
yes,
उस बात से तो जल के राख हो जाती है मुझे. मतलब
yeah, it is unjustified because first of all they have no right to do that, and second of all, even if they want to point it out, they should do it in a constructive manner.
अगर ये नखरेबाजी वाले
Constructive
जो
criticism
ताने
होनी
मिलते
चाहिए।
हैं, अगर नखरे करने वाले ताने मिलते हैं, तो इस एनवायरनमेंट में वो बंदा किस तरह अपनी फीलिंग्स शेयर करेगा, किस तरह वो अपने फॉल्ट पे नहीं हुआ ना, अगर उसका एनवायरनमेंट ही वैसा नहीं है।
I think
एग्जैक्टली
talking about
इस बात पे
यार
फिर
ये एक फेज चल रहा है
ट्रस्ट
बच्चे का, ये गुजर जाएगा ये फेज, इसको बस लग रहा है नॉर्मली लाइक कि यू ओनली फील दिस इज गोइंग ऑन विद यू, दिस एक्चुअली इजंट गोइंग ऑन विद यू, लाइक आई नो इट्स गोइंग ऑन विद मी, मुझे पता है कि मेरे साथ कुछ गलत हो रहा है या कुछ भी, बट दे डोंट एक्नॉलेज दैट, दे लाइक
exactly
नहीं, दिस इज
like
अ फेज टू पास बाय।
what I think parents need to be like, जिन parents को नहीं समझ आता कि ये क्या सीन है, don't treat it as like feelings, this isn't like emotions and stuff, it's ये मेरी जैसे मेरी बहन बोलती है, ये केमिकल लोचा है दिमाग का, it's chemical imbalances that cause these things and it can happen to anyone, so
डेफिनेटली
it
बिकॉज
should be
आपकी जो
treated as a
फीलिंग्स हैं
disease like any
द
other physical disease.
हाँ बिकॉज
You
आपकी
don't
फीलिंग्स
actually have
हैं
to
द द हार्मोन्स दैट आर रिलीज्ड दे आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन आवर फीलिंग्स। अगर आप बहुत डिप्रेशन हैं सो लाइक आपके ब्रेन नेगेटिव हार्मोन्स रिलीज करते हैं जो आपके मेटाबॉलिज्म रेट वगैरह सारा स्लो डाउन कर देता है, आपके थिंकिंग कैपेसिटी कम हो जाती है। तो
And you're sad and fat.
And depression जो होती है ना, it's not just sadness, like it's more than what people like portray media वगैरह के अंदर.
Depression is
No,
more
because
of an outcome of overthinking because you lack because you don't have many people who you can trust with your issues,
okay,
and
let's
because
talk
of
about
that you try to bottle it all up in within yourself, or you start overthinking about the worst possible
let's
scenario.
talk about how depression is portrayed in our society, because I know people who have clinical diagnosed depression and they don't seem like हमेशा sad नहीं होते, उस तरह नहीं होता. I've seen them like being like
that's
normal
one
people.
other misconception that our society, our families have कि भाई डिप्रेस तो वो लोग होते हैं हर वक्त रो रहे होते हैं या कमरे में पड़े हुए होते हैं हर वक्त कहते हैं बुरे
हाँ
मूड में,
लाइक
that's
जो
not depression.
लोनली सा इंट्रोवर्ट
Yeah,
टाइप का बंदा है वो वही डिप्रेस्ड होता है, नहीं जरूरी नहीं है ये।
that's not depression. Depression is something that does not make you sad all the time. There's certain points in life where you just feel a downfall and you know it's something wrong. लेकिन नहीं, हमारे पापा को लगता है कि भाई ये तो डिप्रेशन तो वो लोग होते हैं हाँ, डिप्रेशन काफी लोग कहते हैं पागल हैं लोग डिप्रेशन में होते हैं. That is not पागलपना. Depression is not even close to पागलपना.
Yep, like madness is sort of like brain functionality impairment.
Yeah.
Depression impairment नहीं है,
Well, they're still able to
depression is
think and
sort of
act
an
like normal
imbalance.
people. It's an imbalance, like उसकी वजह से बहुत like a lot of the times you can feel like very out of touch with your emotions. मतलब some people aren't able to tell कि what their emotions are basically, and they aren't able to think clearly. लेकिन they're still able to like act like a normal person. मतलब high functioning depression क्या होती है कि you're able to do everything that a normal person does, लेकिन like your brain isn't quite okay. मतलब it doesn't
function properly.
like you
Okay,
get what I mean.
right. So I've a lot of people I've noticed. अच्छा, anxiety disorders जो है ना, anxiety or panic वाले issues, वो I feel are the most prevalent in our society, right? Because
That
of
is true.
pressure
That is like
from
statistically be true.
pressure from schools, pressure from families, pressure from work or whatever. There's always some sort of thing that causes these kind of things.
Yeah, it
But I've
triggers
also
like that.
seen people who then say कि तो अगर वो चीज ना होती, like how can you distinguish from like stress from anxiety? Like anxiety disorder is a proper disease, right? Stress is a thing that happens when a person is overworked.
From what I understand is that कोई चीज disorder तब बनती है when it starts like when it stops you from basically functioning like a normal human being. वो इतना ज़्यादा आपको चीज़ों में bother करती है. Like if somebody has anxiety, उनको it's not just like stress. मतलब उनको इस level तक होती है that they're unable to like go outside because like उनको social situations में बहुत ज़्यादा मसले होते हैं. या it basically it stops you acting like a normal human being. वो चीज तब disorder बनती है. That is the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Right. So
so
but
like
it's
anxiety
important.
is kind of something like आपके ऊपर इतना stress पड़ जाता है, not exactly because of the task at hand, like secondary or tertiary issues होते हैं जैसे peer pressure, family pressure वगैरह. So because of that you stop having rational thoughts.
Yeah, I feel it's not always because of pressure or something, like stress. I started having some anxiety issues when I was in 11th during my CIEs, because like 2 months back from my CIEs, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I remember my CIEs went horrible. I couldn't, as Maya said, I felt like I couldn't function properly. I couldn't study. I couldn't sleep. I did not know what to do. I was in a very weird phase of life, which I eventually got over, but it's not always caused by stress or pressure or peer pressure. It can also be triggered by something shocking in your life or
Yeah,
something
it
literally.
can. So no, kabhi kabhar you don't even need something that triggers it. Kabhi kabhar it just happens out of nowhere.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like आपको कोई disease होती है, doesn't मतलब some things affect some people differently. कई लोगों का immune system is like not working properly, so then they're more likely to get affected by certain things. So like I think
It's not
everybody.
exactly due to the immune system, because immune system
नहीं,
is
I know.
like
I'm just giving you an example. I'm just like giving you an example कि यही होता है कि like things affect different people differently. Like
हाँ
a traumatic event for me would just be like something normal for you. तुम्हारे लिए वो कोई इतनी बड़ी चीज नहीं होगी.
जहाँ पे मैं conversation को ले जा रहा था stress और anxiety का फर्क, right? I saw this video
Yeah.
where it was like differentiating that this is stress and it needs to be treated like this, and this is anxiety. That's the proper disease, anxiety disorder. Go to a doctor for that. Go to a क्या कहते हैं जो mental health वाले डॉक्टर होते हैं, psychiatrist या psychologist?
Psychologist.
Go to a psychologist.
Psychiatrist जो होते हैं उन्होंने psychiatrists like they basically prescribe medication वगैरह, और psychologists जो होते हैं they diagnose you with stuff, और उन्होंने basically disorders वगैरह के अंदर उन्होंने specialize किया होता है.
Okay, so go to a psychologist. ये वो कहते हैं. I sent that video to a group of friends who then used that to justify for a friend who was going through something, telling him that this is just stress from your work, from your school. तो तुम छुट्टियां आएंगी ना ठीक हो जाओगे. And how do
that is not exactly true, because as far as I have noticed, I become the most non-productive anxious person ever during the vacations, क्योंकि
like
छुट्टियों
उसको
में मुझे पता ही नहीं
justify
होता
कर
कि
रहे
क्या
थे कि
करना
भाई तुम ठीक हो जाओगे, तुम्हें कुछ नहीं हुआ है. और the question was how do we as a society, like parents अगर नहीं कर पाते like अपने बच्चों को help, how do we as friends and as colleagues make sure that everyone in our surrounding, because याद है कुछ अर्से पहले like जो वो बंदे ने suicide कर लिया था, या now it's a murder or whatever, but it started an entire conversation about how
that actor जो था
फातिमा क्या नाम था उसका, तुमने बोला?
सुशांत राजपूत.
हाँ, Sushant Rajput. That started an entire conversation on how we should behave with friends who we think might be going through something. How do you guys think? Because I still struggle with how to deal with people like in that situation.
I think first of all, before like giving any suggestions to the person, you should know exactly what the person is going through. और उसके लिए like there should be a degree of trust between you and the person who is going through.
I disagree.
ताकि the person going through, he can be completely honest and not hide anything from you because he feels embarrassed.
Maria?
I think पहली चीज ये होती है, you need to differentiate between like if that person actually needs to just, if the person needs you to listen or if they want advice. That is a big thing.
Exactly.
Because like
I am someone who is horrible at expressing my feelings, and I can never talk to a lot of people, but I can talk to my best friend. I know that. So she's someone who always listens to me. So if you feel that one person is actually comfortable with you listening to them, and they can talk to you comfortably, then you should sit and listen to them first of all. And then, as I guess I don't remember who said this, कि your friends are suggesting कि तुम्हें ये हो गया है and you'll be fine. Don't jump to conclusion.
Exactly. That's right? What I said, कि like chill करो, उसको ये सारा justify नहीं कर. If he is going through something that is real, like अगर actual में उसे है anxiety disorder या depression या जो भी, we shouldn't jump like tell him कि तुम में कुछ नहीं हुआ और तुम ठीक हो जाओगे, वो और सामने से like annoy होगा, it might aggravate something else.
it might aggravate it, and also एक और बात ये होती है कि in a lot of mental illnesses there is this thing called imposter syndrome, ठीक है? It's basically when you feel like you are faking it. मतलब आपको खुद ये you can't, मतलब जिस तरह दूसरे लोग आपको कहते हैं ना कि तुम ड्रामे कर रहे हो, तुम नखरे कर रहे हो, आप बेसिकली अपने आप को वो कह रहे होते हैं that you start believing it and you think that you don't even take yourself seriously. तो अगर आप किसी को इस तरह इनवैलिडेट करेंगे ये कह के कुछ भी मसला नहीं है तुम्हारे साथ, that will just make that situation worse for them. It will make it less likely that they will get help.
फातिमा तुम कुछ बोल रही थी, आवाज कट रही है तुम्हारी.
हाँ, sorry. That is something our parents do to us. They feel like तुम लोग ड्रामे कर रहे हो, तुम्हारे ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. So that again brings in our parents' fault into our mental health.
It's sort of a coping mechanism for the parents जो बोलते हैं ना कि ठीक हो जाएगा and stuff like that, because they don't want to like admit it.
Except that they're screwing up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Acha, what do you think? How what role do parents play in creating these mental health issues with kids?
First of all, don't hit your kids.
नहीं अच्छा sorry एक सेकंड, फातिमा कह रही है उसको आवाज नहीं आ रही.
हाँ.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm going to start again. अब आ रही है ना? मैं बोलूँ वापस अपना सवाल?
नहीं समझ आ गया मुझे. Maya, continue please.
नहीं, you were gonna say something?
नहीं तुम कुछ कहीं थे. I'm really sorry.
I think she forgot what she wanted to say.
Maria बोलो
यार.
No, I
remember what I want to say, but I want Maya to finish what she was saying.
Oh my God, ये मैं नहीं काटूंगा, पता है मैं ये काटने नहीं वाला. ये पता चलना चाहिए, एक्सपोज कर दूंगा मैं कि किससे खराब behind the scenes हमारे. क्या मतलब मुझे काटोगी? मैं नहीं काट सकता हूँ. ये सीरियस कॉन्वर्सेशन थी. ओके, ये हम लोग जो है ना ये अच्छा सेकंड पार्ट है. एक्सपोज कर रहा हूँ मैं बिहाइंड द सीन्स को हमारे पॉडकास्ट के व्यूअर्स के लिए कि ये सेकंड पार्ट है, सेकंड रिकॉर्डिंग है. और
you started this podcast.
Yeah, I know I started this podcast. Now I hate myself for it.
Jokes on you.
लेकिन ये थोड़ा सीरियस टॉपिक है, इसलिए थोड़ा हम जोक्स मारने से इतरा रहे हैं.
हाँ.
But about the mom hating kids we are raising. Maria, you were saying something about the mom hating kids.
I was saying I think we can all agree on the fact that you shouldn't hit your kids. That was a thing that was pretty common in the last generation. And I think उससे बहुत ज़्यादा issues होते हैं. From personal experience बहुत ज़्यादा issues होते हैं उससे.
तुम्हें हैंगर पड़ी? तुम्हें हैंगर जो नहीं पड़ी है?
ये बहुत सारी चीजें
बात है.
That is quite important because ये last generation की बात नहीं है, मम्मा अम्मा की बात होती है. Because मेरी बहनें भी कह लो 20th century की हैं. मेरी अम्मा अब्बा पुरानी हैं, कोई नए नहीं है, उससे छोटी हैं. उनको इतना ज़्यादा एज गैप है तो पुरानी सेंचुरी की हो जाते हैं. लेकिन हमारे घर में ये मारने वाला और using an inappropriate language is quite forbidden. हमें डांट पड़ती है उस पर कि आप ऐसे नहीं बात कर सकते. ये नहीं कि लड़ाइयाँ नहीं होती थी, पागल में लड़ाइयाँ होती थी. But then our parents, kind of restricted in our house. We couldn't talk in a certain way.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Like manners, at least manners के मामले में strict होना चाहिए. I feel parents को.
हाँ.
मुझे
but it should not be like possessive exorcist level of strictness.
हाँ, वो नहीं करना चाहिए.
सांस भी इजाजत के बगैर नहीं ले सकता. Because I know people who have parents like that and I do not envy them.
हाँ, I feel कि parents को जो है ना वो अपने बच्चों को like अभी का time है ना, try your best to raise kids who are ready for everything. So they need to be equipped with handling stress, and if they have anxiety disorders or depression, if they're going through depression, equip them with everything that they need. If they need to go to a therapist, go send them to a therapist. If they need anyone else to talk to, make sure they have that.
Most importantly, I think it's हमारे जो आधे मसले हैं ना like mental health related, जो like we're talking parents से trigger होते हैं, those can be solved by just the parents being open-minded and listening to what their kids have to say. Like उनको ये ना कहें कि तुम्हें कुछ पता नहीं है, तुम तो अभी इतने छोटे हो, तुम्हें ये मसला कैसे हो सकता है. Like just listen to them.
छोटे हो वाली
बात. अरे मैं बोल कितने हैं? I forgot what I was saying. Okay, I remember. Yeah. The thing is that our parents
happens. Lol.
Yeah, hataओ नहीं please. अच्छा हाँ. Parents should actually tell kids, that this is an issue that you can face in life further on. because half the problem is that people facing mental health issues don't even know that it's an issue.
I agree with that. That's a very good point.
Because they were never told that that's a problem and you should think about it. या फिर कहते हैं बात करनी पड़ती है.
बहुत सारे लोग डिनायल में होते हैं कि नहीं दिस इज मैं तो बस स्ट्रेस है ये है वो है और फिर वो लाइक
हमें तो कोई पर हमें तो बताया ही नहीं गया इस चीज के बारे में, तो ऐसा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता.
एग्जैक्टली.
Can we also applaud Fatima for risking her life for being here today?
Yes, like Fatima to be here today. Was supposed to be in a dawat. Is at a dawat.
No, I have not left my house yet.
Shit.
They're waiting for me.
Oh my God, Fatima.
Oh my God, go.
That is worse.
एक सेकंड. ये सुनो मेरी बात, तो तुमने 15 मिनट का हाँ कैसे बोल दिया?
मैं अपनी अम्मी को बोला 15 मिनट इसलिए.
Shit, that is Fatima. Damn.
Fatima, I don't know if I'm scared for your life or impressed.
I am impressed. This is
मुझे अपनी बहन के साथ जाना था and we were leaving like before 7. The plan was that मैं उसी घर से बैठ के सारा podcast करूंगी ना. उनकी लाइट चली गई. So she was like जब लाइट आएगी तो I'll call you guys, then you guys come. And I was like okay. And I was like अब मैं आऊंगी अपना वो लेने के बाद. मैं भी जिद कर गई. मैंने कहा because हम उतर में literally गेट से बाहर निकल गए. Then she's like लाइट नहीं है. And I came back upstairs and I was like अब तो मैं देर से आऊंगी. So that's the scene.
I wish I had that dedication level for literally anything.
Yeah, same.
Like,
actually, I committed to Zen, and then I remembered कि Saturday को यहाँ का barbecue है, and I couldn't cancel. दोनों चीजें
I commit to Zen every week and then I
like मेरे साथ भी same scene होता है. मैं किसी से long term commitment करवाता हूँ ना, मैं बता देता हूँ उसे 2-3 दिन पहले remind करा देना, पता चला मैं भूल गया. And like
नहीं होता या तो हाँ बोलो या फिर ना बोलो. आपके पास कैलेंडर है आपके पास, गूगल कैलेंडर पे डाल दो भाई मुझे ईमेल, आज तुम्हें ईमेल आ जाएगा रिमाइंड. आप
भाई जब दावत में
कैलेंडर पे पॉपअप. हां वैसे
अब मैं क्या अब टाइम में जाके अपने कैलेंडर में डालूं कि यार मैं याद दिला देना चाह रहा हूं दावत का. तुम
सॉरी. खैर लेकिन मैं ऐसे लो तो अब तुम जैसे लोगों के लिए शेड वाला अभी फेसबुक पे पोस्ट आएगा इंशाल्लाह. रुक जाना तुम.
ओह अल्लाह.
अच्छा कंटिन्यू व्हाट टॉपिक प्लीज.
Mental health.
Yes.
I feel कि a lot of people who want to talk about it, like जब ये सुशांत सिंह वाली चीज हुई थी, सुशांत सिंह सही बोल रहा हूँ मैं? सुशांत राजपूत.
Yep.
Sushant Singh Rajput.
Oh, okay. Sushant Singh Rajput. A lot of people felt that they should talk about it. And I felt that you shouldn't talk about it if you don't know enough. Like, make sure that you're saying that, haan, we're here for you, but don't just go around.
One problem that I had with the entire case was you didn't even know if he was actually in depression or not. Because his entire family, people who were close to him, half of them were like, he was never, in depression. But the entire world is suicide or depression nahi hoga yaar. Ye to yahi hoga. And it started jumping to conclusions कि it's a depression था, इसे ये था.
Honestly, क्योंकि उसकी जो पूरी story फिर
yeah, they all started, consoling, telling people कि ये नहीं करना, तुम ये नहीं करना. Did you even know that guy? Did you even know that he was actually in depression or not?
Right, just because suicide was treaty, and I felt that a lot of people were being fake. They didn't care about anything, and then just वो जो था story पे लगा रहे हैं. और if you want to talk about it, then आ जाओ. और जब text करते हैं सामने से तो फिर reply ही नहीं आता. वो वाले लोग.
It's sort of like वो जैसे post करते हैं, they regret posting it after 10 seconds.
Exactly.
कि अब like लोग अब message करेंगे actual और reply करना पड़ेगा.
Yep. मुझे एक post था, I think पता नहीं किसने लगाया था, I think अलीज़े ने लगाया था about this whole thing कि don't do that मतलब public पे नहीं लगाओ. You go and ask them in private if you think, like just normal बात करो. ये नहीं करोगे if you want to tell me something, बात करनी है तुम्हें depression हो रहा है तो करो. Like normal उनसे बात करो. They don't like being a burden on anyone. Like if people are struggling,
it's their sorry to talk about it.
Yep.
So you have to ask them.
करनी होगी वो करेंगे. Anyways, I just want to because it's an issue that a lot of people don't have access to therapy and stuff. Maria, do we know stuff like जो हम link में डाल सकते हैं, like people like online वाली चीजें होती हैं services?
Like psychologists and therapists. And
so no, I know a few things online, like, and mostly you have to pay for them. And there's like one website called Blah Therapy. So yeah. There you can like talk to people for free, but not like psychologists and stuff. You can just vent to random people. So
Is
we
that
can
helpful?
put that in the link if you want. It is helpful sometimes. Like in
Let's
Kavika, you
put
run into
everything in the
someone who like tries to
let's
get
put
you to
everything
send
in
them
the link
nudes.
because
That's not very helpful.
It
let's I
might be
think
helpful to someone.
let's put everything in the link जो भी अगर paid भी करना है because I feel online वाले जो है ना वो ज़्यादा comfortable होता है बंदा like कहीं पे जाना नहीं पड़ता they don't feel like किसी को burden करना पड़ रहा है कि late है
Online wala is also like significantly cheaper than in real life consultations. असल में आप जाते हैं ना तो like आपको 4,000 की एक मिलती है. 4,000 is like the minimum.
shit
एक session. It's bad.
so all in all like I still feel कि overall society जो है वो सही direction में जा रही है because we're more aware about this issue and
It is getting better.
About an issue and doing something about an issue is different. अभी सब लोग aware होना शुरू हुए हैं इसके अंदर कुछ करने की जरूरत है.
It is a slow progress,
what do
but
you
a
think
progress nonetheless.
what do you think is the next step like a lot of people are now aware but are like मैं जैसे हूँ मुझे पहले इतनी I'll admit कि मैं पहले थोड़ा dismissive होता था now I'm starting to understand all of it the science of it and now I'm more aware of it but I don't know what to do about it I don't know what to do what I can do to help what do you think I can like people like me can do to help
Yeah, just listening पहली बात ये है and दूसरी बात ये है कि even if you people think they're aware, it always you can always like understand more. So yeah, so if somebody you know has an issue, you should do your research about that. Or like आपको online you find a lot of things like you can find out how you can like support them as their friend.
If you feel that someone around you is going through something and they don't want to talk about it, you can just go and research about it and try doing things that you think that could be helpful for them.
And also like एक और चीज I want everyone who's listening to the podcast to know is कि you should always know कि किस point के ऊपर you need to involve like outside help. If you think that somebody might do something like try to hurt themselves or something, you need to involve like actually somebody from the outside.
That is something that I struggle with a lot because I have friends who I have a friend I have one friend who in particular jokes a lot about like dying killing himself and that really scares me because I care about the guy he's one of my bestest friends but then he's been doing that for years and I feel like okay so yeah, maybe he's joking but you never know right
yeah
what do I do about that
friend of yours and you know him for such a long time and you can't in a like directly बात में you can just share the बात and try talking to him about this if you feel if it's it could be harmful for him and you care about him but like बिल्कुल straightforward harsh
and you can also like because if he's like a very close friend to you you can tell him कि like अगर when you say things like that it's like scary to me and you can like tell them कि if they actually feel like they might do something like that they should tell you लेकिन हाँ मतलब just that
so what I understand is like try your best from you make the effort
basically
is what all
and don't like dismiss their issues do your research and just try to be the best friend that you can be and know when to involve outside help that's all the advice I have.
Yes, that's the I Exist to Spite podcast manual to helping your friends.
Yeah.
I think we should end it right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you 15 minutes in a moment. Just sitting over here and just the entire thing.
Fatma ko Allah Hafiz karwa dete hain. Thank you, Fatma, for being a part of this. I hope you come back for something like funnier, like something more our brand.
Yeah, please give me that for something.
But thank you for like I feel that we should have had this conversation like earlier, shuru mein even.
Yeah.
Better late than never, I guess.
Thank you.
I was really angry with him because we haven't spoken in so long, me and Zen. And he didn't even tell me that he's going to Canada. I knew he was going to Canada, but I did not know that he was already left and he's already there for, I guess, a month.
It would have been too difficult for me to say goodbye to all of my good friends. I just said
he would have cried.
I cried a lot while I was writing the Facebook post.
And
Anyways, but
if
Oh.
we were to meet, he would have cried in front of us,
Yep.
and one of us would have made his video and used it as
हाँ ये
future
मैं नहीं
blackmail
कर
material.
I am no sucker. Okay, Fatma, thank you for coming, Fatma. Run तुम्हें
Thank
तुम्हारी
you.
अम्मा जो है ना जूतियों से मार देंगी, भागो.
Hafiz.
Boy, that is a brave girl.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't. मैं ही सोच भी नहीं सकती करने का.
So no, this was like the first thing that we had like a guest. First time that we had a guest host kind of a thing, guest co-host rather. If you like it,
Yeah.
let us know in the comments because I think I like it. I like having a new perspective in the group. What do you guys think?
Yep.
It keeps things interesting.
It keeps things fresh,
And
even though this topic was a little intense and
Not
I
our
was
vibe kind.
it was too important. It
was an
was intense,
important
but it
conversation.
needed to be
It
talked
was
about.
important.
Inshallah, next wale mein jo hai na, I think people do like us having these conversations, like listening to our
I think
perspectives.
so too. I like us having these conversations.
It is important to have these conversations time to time, like एक sort of balance होना चाहिए.
Yep. Okay, we talked about how Fatma is a blogger, fashion stuff and makeup stuff. We talked about mental health issues and how our parents and our families and our friends both contribute and can help. We talked about how what we as like in a friends group, if someone is struggling with issues, you can help them.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. We hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.
Yeah.